University of Wisconsin, Loyal Family Renovations, Menards, Network Health, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, Saturn Lounge.
Unloads, long ball, got it. Rinse and repeat from beyond the arc.
Smart 18, Toyota, and Woodman's. You've been listening to Bucks Basketball on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes, allergies, cancer. Nothing will keep the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network from pushing Wisconsin ahead. We're constantly raising the bar for medical excellence and providing more ways to receive it, so you have it for all your health needs, big and small. Let's push ahead, and we'll make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
Start the new year right with Norwalk Furniture on sale now at Ken Michaels Furniture. Save 35% on showroom pieces that are ready for immediate delivery, or in just 35 days, you can create a look that reflects your unique style with over 850 fabric and leather options and comfort levels, from cuddling to extra firm support. Norwalk Furniture's American roots go back over 102 years. For better quality American-made upholstery, shop the Norwalk Upholstery Sale at any Ken Michaels Furniture locations in Greenfield, Brookfield, or downtown. Better days start with a better night's sleep on a mattress from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in Milwaukee, our mattresses are custom built to your needs. We have all the comfort and firmness options to give you your best night's rest. Buying direct from our factory showrooms will save you up to 50% compared to national brands. Shop today during our New Year's sale at Ken Michaels Furniture for over 75 years of uncompromising quality, local factory direct saving, and your best night's sleep.
Marty's Pizza in Delafield. Open for dine-in, carry-out, or delivery 7 days a week. If you haven't tasted our legendary pizza yet, I'll tell you what our loyal customers will tell you. You're missing out. But it's not only pizza. Great salads, subs, and Italian entrees like our mostaccioli or lasagna are must-tries. Covered with 100% mozzarella cheese and baked to perfection. So if you're not cooking tonight, remember Marty's Pizza, right off I-94 and Highway 83 in Delafield. Or order online at martyspizza.net.
Remember, Marty's Pizza.
Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that.
Remember, Marty's Pizza.
Right off I-94 and Highway 83 in Delafield.
Now that the game is done, it's our time to check in.
Wemby, he lets it fly and sticks another three. Well, it was advantage Giannis early on. It has turned.
Bucks Talk starts now.
Another tough one tonight here from the Alamo City. San Antonio will take down the Bucks by a final score of 119-98.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios, here's Justin Garcia.
Oh boy, did it ever turn. Not a whole lot of positives to come out of this one, to put it mildly. There was one brief moment where I suppose it was trending towards, hey, we got something going here. Giannis looked pretty good against Wemby, as you heard in that cut. He had the advantage in the first couple of head-to-head possessions there. Drew 2 quick fouls on Wemby. Momentarily knocked him out of the game when they appeared to knock knees. But it went downhill pretty quickly. And it did not go downhill where I expected it would. The Bucks have struggled immensely in minutes with Giannis off the floor all season long. I think he's plus 21, better than plus 21 in net rating difference when he's on the floor versus off the floor. That is number one in the league, by the way, surpassing Nikola Jokic. So it's been a problem. I think anyone with eyes that has watched and followed this team this season has seen that. Like, man, it just looks like the Bucks aren't the same team in those minutes that Giannis is off the floor, and it trended towards that in the early going tonight. as well as, as soon as Giannis left, the Bucks were up 1. It was 17-16 at the 5:23 mark in that opening quarter. He leaves, and they go 0 for 6 with a turnover in the ensuing possessions. But then they started to knock down some shots. And before you knew it, they started to claw back. I think it reached 8. And you thought, well, here's the stretch. Here it comes where the non-Giannis minutes become a problem for this team and the Spurs pull away. But that's not when it happened. And the Bucks fought back and were outscored, but it was only by 3. It was 23-20, the difference, with Giannis off the floor for about 10 minutes in that first stretch. But shortly after he returned, everything just went the way for the Spurs. And that's not to say that this was a Giannis loss. It certainly was not. You had 3 double-digit scores, and Giannis was one of them. In another game where Giannis basically scored a point for every minute he was on the floor. 22 minutes, 21 points tonight. But it was just, man, if something else can go wrong for this group, the trend this past week, and frankly, the trend through 41 games, has been if there is something that can go wrong, it is going to go wrong. And that's where we find ourselves tonight after another massive, in terms of point differential, loss. I mean, you had the Cole Anthony late three-pointer in the closing seconds. That meant instead of another 20-plus point loss, hey, it's only 18. But in these last 2 games, the Bucks have been outscored now by 51 points. That is the largest point differential over 2 losses in franchise history. The previous high was 48, which they had done 2 times. And the last time they did that was 1983. Over 40 years ago that you've seen 2 games back to back. This margin, this result. 855-616-1620 is the Siding Unlimited talk and text line to join us tonight on Bucks Talk. And, at the risk of becoming a real-life meme here of the painting the clown makeup on your face, it's not early anymore. You're officially halfway through the season now. So we had talked about you're going to be at the midpoint, and what if you lose? You're going to be 17-24, and you do the math. It's pretty easy. If you want to even get to 500, it means you got to go 24-7. Have we seen any type of consistent play from this team this season that suggests you think that's doable? And I think even the most optimistic of Bucks fans, after watching this tonight, it's pretty hard to say yeah to that. There's 2 important games, relatively important games that are going on right now, but that's the other thing, is sooner or later, I keep mentioning that at some point you're going to have your answer, and the decision is essentially going to be made for you in what you do with this season. How do you handle the final, whatever it ends up being, 41, 35, whenever games. But at some point, that decision is going to be made for you. When you look at the standings, you look at your record, you look at where the other teams are. And it does, if we are being honest, it does feel like if we haven't reached that point, we are barreling towards it right now. 855-616-1620, the Siding Unlimited talk and text line to join us tonight on Bucks Talk. To put it mildly, an incredibly disappointing stretch for this team. We'll get to some of your reactions. See if we can't find Doc Rivers' post-game comments. I was talking with a few people on the scene in Atlanta, as you probably heard me doing what we call the business vamping and just trying to fill the time before we get the connection with Doc and feeling like, man, this is going on a long time. I frankly don't know what else there is to say about this game, so I don't know how much I got left in me. And texting with one of the reporters that was down there, hey, has Doc talked yet? Like, oh, yeah, it was pretty quick, and they got us in and out there. So we'll see if we can track that down and bring back what Doc Rivers had to say. But a very, very disappointing night and stretch for this Bucks team. More after this on Bucks Talk.
This is Bucks Talk.
If you've ever worried about your heart, if you've ever loved someone with heart disease, if you've ever wondered if you're the one at risk, let's remind ourselves that we are not powerless. Because at the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're pushing to outsmart heart and vascular disease by working with you personally to understand your history, assess your risks, and guide you to heart strength. By digging deep with tireless research and offering access to leading-edge clinical trials. And for the most serious conditions, including heart failure, heart valve disease, arrhythmias, and vascular diseases, we provide renowned expertise and the most advanced life-saving procedures you expect from academic medicine. So let's get out in front of heart disease. Let's outsmart it. Let's keep pushing so that every one of us can outrun it and embrace every beautiful day life in Wisconsin has to offer. To learn more about our nationally renowned heart and vascular care, visit froedtert.com/heart.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me. Not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem. And I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who will tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
When you jump on the back of a bull and the gate swings, there's no middle ground. You either ride it out with 8 seconds of pure adrenaline or hit the dirt and run. Bull riding is not just a sport, it's a gamble of guts and glory. Nothing else compares. This is the PBR Unleash the Beast Tour. See the best bull riders in the world face off at Busch Light PBR Milwaukee, presented by Cooper Tires at Fiserv Forum this weekend. Ready to be cowboy? Get your tickets at Ticketmaster. It's bull time.
Welcome back to Bucks Talk.
$119 to 111, or 119 to 101, the final score tonight. Had it not been for that Cole Anthony 3, you'd be looking at back-to-back 20-point losses. 33-point loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves on the home floor. And really, this is, I think, without question, the most troubling, discouraging, whatever word you want to use to describe it, stretch we have seen in this era. And by this era, I mean, 2018 onward. You know, a lot of these numbers, you're now going back to, well, this hasn't happened since the 2016-17 season and in that general area, because it was a much different team then. From 2018 through 2023 season, you had consistency. You beat the teams you were supposed to beat. Saw the group obviously reach 2 Eastern Conference Finals. And there's just been a lot of inconsistency issues and, frankly, disappointment these past 2+ seasons now. But it's really culminated this season. 51 points combined in these last 2 games. 51 points. That is the margin you have lost your last 2 games by. And if you take it a step further, Sunday nights you lose in Denver to a Nuggets team that was playing without 5 of their top 7 guys. You go from that to a 33-point home loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves in a game Minnesota played without two of their four best players. And one of those two is a top 5 player in the conference in Anthony Edwards. You lose that game, and then you come into tonight, and I think it's going to be easy for everybody to, well, who didn't see this coming, right? I genuinely thought what we saw for the first 5-6 minutes of the first quarter, I genuinely expected to see that tonight. That these guys, these coaches, everyone, they've heard all the chatter as well, and you've had to wear that for the last couple of days, and you've had to let not only that Timberwolves loss, both of those losses, you've had to let that sit with you. That I expected, just as we talk about playing down to the level of the competition, being up for this contest with Victor Wembanyama, a Spurs team that was a half game out of the number 2 seed in the West, and they're currently there right now with this win, that was going to draw the best out of this group to not only sit with what they have gone through these past couple of days and these past 2 games, to certainly be driven by, hey, we can't do that again. Like, let's put up a better showing, but also the draw of this good Spurs team and Wemby, and we've seen some very special performances from both Wemby and Giannis head-to-head these past couple of years. I expected this to be a competitive game, and a large part of me thought, I think they're actually going to win this game. And then maybe they'll win on Monday, and we'll get right back to the same spot of, hey, can they finally do it? Can they finally win 3 in a row and have a win streak this season and try to show you everybody that's been saying it's in there, it's eventually going to come out. Here it is, and now they're going to start to do something. But in many ways, this game was a microcosm, or is a microcosm, of this season to date. Decent start. You started 4-1. Yeah, you had some nice moments in there. The high point was that 4th win against the Golden State Warriors. But then the wheels just kind of fell off, and you've never been able to regain it. And that's what it was for the final 42 minutes of this game tonight. 855-616-1620, the Siding Unlimited talk and text line to join us tonight on Bucks Talk. All right, we did not get it on the network post-game show, but Doc Rivers did talk after the game, and I'm in the same boat as you. We're all going in blind here, so we will hear from Doc Rivers coming up after this on Bucks Talk.
You're listening to Bucks Talk.
Since 1956, the Adair name has stood for craftsmanship, honesty, and taking care of people the right way. I'm Austin Adair.
And I'm Chelsea.
My grandparents started this company with nothing but hard work and pride in every single job. My parents carried that legacy forward, and today, my wife and I are proud to continue it as 3rd generation of Adair Floors and Remodeling. This isn't just a business to us. It is our family name, our reputation, and our promise to you. At Adair Floors and Remodeling, we help homeowners upgrade with confidence. Whether you need luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, carpet, tile, or a full remodel, our team handles everything from design to installation. Quality products, professional crews, clear communication, and results you'll love. That's what 3 generations have built and what we stand behind every single day. Visit Adair Floors and Remodeling today at our large showroom located in Franklin, or give us a call at 414-761-3660 for a free estimate. Adair Floors and Remodeling. 3 generations, 1 standard.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
The Round Ball Repartee returns. This is Bucks Talk.
$119-101 final score tonight. The San Antonio Spurs hand the Bucks their third straight loss. They are now 17-24 at the midpoint of the season. And I said at the top, too, maybe we're there, but at some point, and it's barreling down this road, at some point, the decision is going to be made for you on how you approach the remainder of this season. When you look at where you are in the standings relative to everything else, you're, again, as of this very moment, we'll see what happens in the Hawks game and the Hornets game, but as of this moment, you are closer in the standings to the Hornets, who are 12th, than you are to the Bulls and the Hawks, who are 10th and 9th, respectively. A couple of messages trickling in here that kind of relate to that decision being made for you, and how should you approach this second half of the season if things are going to continue this way. We'll get to a few things that have come across my desk here in the past few minutes. But I mentioned we didn't get a chance to hear him on the network postgame, but we have it now. So Doc Rivers addressed the media after this loss. And again, I don't think the reporters had this context because I was talking with one of them about this stat during the post game, and I think at that point Doc had stopped talking. So I don't think this question will come up, but these two losses to the Timberwolves and now today to the Spurs, 51 points combined in those two losses. That is the largest margin of defeat over two games in franchise history. 48 was the previous record, which they had done twice. One was in the early 70s. I forget the year. The last time it happened was 1983, and you blew past that now. 51 points in losses over these past two games. All right, Doc Rivers, after the game, after a disappointing one here, addressed the media. Here's his thoughts.
Second quarter, a couple Bobby threes, guys go up 3. After that, it's
went downhill.
Yeah, so what happened in that part of it?
I still think the same thing. I thought that the first half, the fouling was, they had 20 free throws at halftime. And listen, guys, we had 48 threes. Of 40 were really good shots, and they didn't go in. So it's a make-miss league. I really loved the game plan. I thought we played the right way overall. I thought the fouling, and then that last 6 minutes of the second quarter, they got away from us. And I thought that was fouling and missed shots. So,
back in Charlotte, you had talked about, the record creates pressure.
Yeah.
As you, at this point, how do you keep that pressure from mounting or getting too much as you get kind of further in the hole later?
I think people outside look at that more than the players. Honestly, our players, guys, we got half the year left. I don't think people are sitting there looking at the record right now. I think they're trying to get right. So that's where it goes. Obviously, you look at it, I don't even know what we're out, 2 games, 1 game from the play-in. Like, it's a whole half a season left. So I don't see that at all with us.
Are you concerned at all? I mean, I know you had thought dead legs in Denver. I mean, Giannis disagreed. There's a night like tonight where the starters are pulled again so early.
I didn't think it was dead legs in Denver.
Against Minnesota, I'm sorry.
I thought Minnesota was clearly dead legs. And tonight, we got outplayed, guys. We generated – let me say this. Before the game, if you had told us we shot 48 threes, what would you have thought?
move the ball.
Yeah, and we probably won the game, or at least had a chance to win. We didn't make them. I can't overdo that. The fouling and the missed threes, long rebounds got them out running. That hurt us. But the fouling killed us. And that's what we got to shore up.
You mentioned those threes. Kyle takes 13 of them.
Yeah.
I would guess 10 are at least above the break. We've talked all year. That's not his shot diet. So what was the difference tonight?
We work on him every day. He's been making them. Our shot charts are saying he's getting better at them. So like today in shoot-around, we were like, let threes fly. We told everybody. I thought Bobby had a really smart game. Like there was a couple times he rode in to get back out, and we found him with corner threes. I thought our guards struggled tonight, and that happens. Scoot had a tough game. Ryan was up and down, but, AJ was in foul trouble. That hurt us, but we just got to keep backing away.
Scoot and Ryan specifically over the last 3 games have really struggled.
Yeah.
How do you get those two back on track?
Yeah, I don't know. Just keep trying to put them in the right spot and keep getting them to play right, I think Scoot took 2 or 3 early contested twos. Those not the shot you want, not the profile we want, especially against a long athletic team.
I think 58 points across 2 losses is the most in franchise history.
Yeah.
How do you feel like you get your guys' competitive spirit back?
I thought we were very competitive to start the game. I thought we came out right tonight, all right? And then they made everything, we missed everything, and we got dispirited. We have 2 days of practice. This team wants to win. Obviously, they're down about losing, but I don't think it's about getting it back. I think it's still here. I don't think we've lost it.
Kind of following up with that, I don't know if you can sense this, and you kind of said it a little bit there, but having back-to-back games where you're trailing by almost 40 points, but what is the hit to the belief?
That's dispiriting because the Minnesota game I threw out, honestly. Tough game, tough night, struggled, didn't play well. I thought we played tired. Tonight I thought we were fresh overall, as fresh as you're going to be. Quarter and a half, we had the lead. We're playing well, and then it just went away in 5-minute stretch. And then we never got it back. So that was dispiriting.
How much do you kind of need these 3 days leading up to Monday?
Oh, it's great to have. It's great to have. But Atlanta's fighting for their life, too. Like, the good thing is no one's running away from anybody. We win 5 games in a row. Hell, we may be in the 6th spot. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we see. We believe that if we get it right, we're a good team. We're young, and our guards are going to be up and down. That's just the fact of it. We knew that before the season.
I think this is the 3rd or 4th time you guys will have multiple practice days in a row.
Yeah, it's awesome.
What do you feel like? We talked about how good it can be, and then maybe not seeing the results after.
Yeah, well, I
how
think
do
we
you feel
have
like
seen
this can
some
be
results,
better?
and then they go away. But I think we know exactly what we want to work on. Yeah, no doubt.
Giannis has taken a more vocal role this year as one of the oldest starter. And he said after Minnesota, maybe I'm getting tuned out with the things I'm trying to say and get. So how do you keep him in the right frame of mind? Because he is frustrated after a lot of these games.
I think everybody is. Can we not say one guy is? It's you know what I'm saying? Bobby's not. You know what I mean? Everyone's friend. When you lose, please God be frustrated. That's what I would say. Don't be happy. And Giannis will never be tuned out. But this is his first time. He's had a lot of guys in the past who did the talking, and Giannis didn't have to. And this is his first opportunity to do it, and I think he's been magnificent overall. Because what he says is, it's never anything that's not about winning. But we have young guys that struggle hearing it sometimes, and that frustrates coaches, that frustrates the vets. And, we had to talk about it, but that doesn't mean don't keep doing it. You have to.
Doc, always great to see you back in San Antonio.
Good to be back.
Your first look at Victor in year 3 here in the NBA. Want to get your thoughts on what you've seen that's different
He's
from
pretty good. He really is. He just, the shot separates him from almost everybody with his ability to create shots. It's so funny. Last year, I didn't think he posted enough. This year, he's doing both. He's got the perfect mix. I think Mitch is doing an amazing job. He really is. They're deep They're young, they're athletic, they're well coached. You know, sky's the limit for this basketball team, and it's now. You know, I know people are saying it could be now, and you know, it's so fun. I had a great chance to go back and forth with Pop over the last couple of days, and God dang, I miss that guy around here. You know what I mean? That just his presence, but his presence, and that's one of the things I said is so still here, and you can feel it. So he did an amazing job of setting up the franchise by bringing Mitch along, and you can see in everything they do that it looks like the Spurs. It's pretty cool.
All right, that is Doc Rivers after the game tonight. The larger point to come out of some of the things that he had to say. There is still a lot of season left, right? I don't want to misconstrue things, and I'm not by any means trying to say, guys, there's plenty of time. Like, don't be worried. You can get this sorted out. There is plenty of time left, but it's not early, and it cannot simply be outside noise. Like, I get you may not call attention to the standings. It's not a daily focus by the players, but at some point you see we're the 11th seed. What was the over-under? 43.5, 42.5, somewhere in that for the Bucks this season. You're going to have to go – well, you would have to go 24-17 to finish 500.
That was a popular over, too.
Have you seen anything to suggest that this team has 24-17 in them right now?
No.
So what if 24-17 gets you to 41 wins? So you got to go 26-15 to hit 43 wins and hit your over. Look, it's not impossible, but the current construction of this group, the current way this group is playing, and the inconsistencies that we have seen, that's the challenge. Like, the other thing too is I do agree with the point. A win streak would solve a lot of this. You know, like, hey, things are still bunched up, and I talked about this on the network portion of the postgame. Like, it seems like nobody wants to lock down a top 6 seed here. Even the play-in tournament teams, like, nobody wants to solidify it and say, let's just slam the door on the Bucks. Let's slam the door on this team. Let's wall off those 7 through 10 teams and just keep winning games. Because just when it looks like the Magic have turned the corner, they lose 4 out of 6. Same with Philly, although Orlando and Philly have both been playing consistently well now for the last couple of weeks. Toronto, too. I would still say I think the chances are greater for Philadelphia or Orlando to move past them. But what have we seen to suggest the Bucks can catch any of those teams? You know, Cleveland is still in the play-in tournament at 23-19. And the disappointment that was the Cleveland Cavaliers, and man, this team's 500, that we would all die for that. Like, hey, I'll take 500 being a disappointment at that point. Miami might continue to sink, but Miami's 21-20. The reality is, the most likely scenario is between Toronto, Philly, and Orlando, one of those teams drops into the play-in tournament. Cleveland probably moves into the top 6. And maybe Miami keeps sliding. Maybe Chicago just kind of stays where they are. But I think the upward trajectory of teams like Atlanta, Cleveland, Orlando, Philly far exceeds what we've seen from the Bucks so far. And the point, too, of, hey, a 5-game win streak, if we can do that, we might be the 6th seed. You're not. 5-game win streak right now means you're still below 500. Even if you won 5 straight games and the Magic lost 5 in a row. Orlando's 23-23, you're 22-24. So, like, yeah, the point of you're within striking distance. But no, and that's just, these numbers are going to continue to move backwards, right? Like, the losses will continue until morale improves is basically where it's at right now for this group. 855-616-1620, the Siding Unlimited talk and text line to join us tonight on Bucks Talking. I heard the stat was backed up there, so apparently my back and forth with Eric was while Doc Rivers was talking, and he had the privilege of letting him know, these 2 losses, that's the most combined points that you have lost by in franchise history. 855-616-1620 is the Siding Unlimited talk and text line. More after this on Bucks Talk.
The Hardwood Homilies continue after this. This is Bucks Talk.
You can order online at martyspizza.net even before we open. And that's great for catering your large group lunch, or just to make sure we get your delivery order where it needs to be right on time. We're big on catering, and we love to deliver to large groups like weddings. You can bet a Marty's Pizza will bring a second win to any party. For carryout, delivery, or dine-in 7 days a week with 150 seating capacity, or for your large group gathering, remember Marty's Pizza off 594 and Highway 83 in Delafield.
Remember Marty's Pizza.
Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that.
Remember Marty's Pizza.
Right off I-94 and Highway 83 in Delafield.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief, because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul. MW Marine.
The 6th annual Hales Corners Hometown Boat Show is on now at MW Marine. Check out the newest fishing boats from Lund, Vexus, and Ranger, all powered by Mercury Outboards. Grab a gorgeous 2026 model or save big on remaining 2025 Mercury-powered boats with substantial rebates. Demand is high, so get to MW Marine today. Free parking and free admission. Don't miss the Hometown Boat Show at MW Marine, MWMarine.com.
This is Bucks Talk.
$119 to 101 the final tonight in San Antonio. The Spurs take care of the Bucks. So your last 2 losses now, 2 consecutive games, have been by 51 points total. That is the largest margin of defeat in franchise history. The previous high was 48, largest margin of defeat in consecutive games. The previous high was 48, which they had done twice. I believe I know the answer to this, but the last time they did it was 1983. Matt, were you alive in 1983?
No,
okay.
Not even close.
That's what I thought, yeah. I mean, how much of the 2017-18 season do you remember?
The year they started to get good, or the year before?
Year before.
Oh, okay. Some. Jabari on that team, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, Jabari Parker.
I mean, when they say things come full circle, it's unfortunate in that it feels like to just remember what we came from and why you were so proud of, like, wow, this team is good and like really good. And when they won a championship too, like when the night they won the title, we did post game until like 2 or 3 in the morning, and just letting it sink in of like, hey, remember, most of us can, because it wasn't that long ago when this team won 15 games, and this team being a doormat in the Eastern Conference for years. I was alive in 1983, Matt, and I remember going to the Bradley Center in the 90s to see other teams, basically, to see the group come from that and, like, build this culture and establish an identity and become one of the elites. It's like, see, it can be done. And I think that's the most troubling part of all of this, is it's not one person's fault. There isn't one individual to point the finger at, as easy as that's going to be and has been for a large majority of you listening to this and interacting with us on socials and YouTube. It's not just one individual. It's been a number of things. It's been a number of different reasons why you've gotten to this point. But somewhere along the way, this group lost an identity. They lost that culture and the fabric that they had in the locker room and within the organization. And you see where it's now leading you to, man, this is really starting to feel like not even 2017, 2018, or 2016, 2017, because, like, you at least felt like, number one, there was no expectations. And you felt like, hey, we're at least building something here, and we're on the right track. The last game, we talked about how you look at Detroit this season, and they kind of remind you of those 2016-17 Bucks or 2017-18 Bucks, like in that era where, yeah, you're making the playoffs and you lose it in the first round, but there's talent on this team, and they just need the right sequence of events to take that leap. You had, the 2017-18 season and the 2018 playoffs, you lost to the Celtics in the first round, and the series you frankly should have won. Where Kyrie was out, that was the Scary Terry and the Drew Bledsoe series. You lost in 7 games, but it felt like, man, it really felt like this was going to be a year they finally broke on through and won in the first round, but you left that series saying, okay, I do feel like they're taking a step towards it, and next year is going to be much better. Even with the hiring of Bud, a lot of the expectations were just have home court advantage, be a top 4 seed. And they start 7-0. That 7th win against the Raptors, where Toronto was undefeated at the time too. Bucks and Raptors just basically ran roughshod over the Eastern Conference that year, and they were off and running to 60 wins. And you thought, wow, it's already here. Like, that's kind of what it feels like Detroit is going through now. So how do you get back to that? Well, it's been a number of things to get you here, right? It's been trades that just unfortunately haven't worked out. It's been a coaching change that didn't work out, right? You went from an established Mike Budenholzer. We don't need to relitigate why the decision was made. It didn't work out. The sequence of events afterwards. You lost some of that culture and identity in the way that this group played. The roster, the atrophy that took place there, some of the trades that we mentioned that didn't work, that not only didn't produce the results you hoped for, it chipped away at this group, where you just look at one by one and the guys that had as much of an impact here, but also guys that Giannis himself has talked about with, I think the story was just shared the other day of talking about when he was Defensive Player of the Year, and what helped? I had this guy named Drew Holiday playing next to me that really helped that. I had Brooke Lopez as a rim protector. I had Drew Holiday on the perimeter. We had guys like Wesley Matthews and Chris Middleton, that there wasn't really a weak spot. You can get into, well, Chris couldn't move as well in the later years. Fine. But you were tough. You were physical. You were a defensive-minded team. And it was full of two-way guys. And just one by one, the moves didn't work out. It took 2-for-1 deals. It took draft picks that just chipped away at any assets you had. And it prevented you from filling the roster from the back and just replenishing and saying, we're going to draft and develop guys, and this is how we're going to continue to go down this path where we got Giannis and we can make some of these moves because we always got young guys ready to come up and grow. And it just didn't work out. You didn't have picks. You were picking late in the draft. That's not an excuse to not hit it, because we've seen other teams do so. It is more challenging, but all of those things, that's what has gotten us to this place that we're at here. And the go forward, I'm not sure what it is. I don't think any of us are. We can point and call for, well, there's one thing you can do, and why don't you do it? There's always reasons why you would or would not make one of those types of moves. But it's going to be interesting to sit with this for 3 days now and see how this team comes out and responds Monday afternoon in Atlanta. So we'll update you on that Hawks score, the Hornets score as well, and preview that matchup with the Hawks after this on Bucks Talk.
This is Bucks Talk.
Can you feel it? It's the thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. Yeah, you know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Catch all the action in a supreme space with dozens of sports betting kiosks, cool drinks, luxe seating, great food, fiery atmosphere, and a monster video wall. Become a legend at Potawatomi Sportsbook. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
If you want to add a unique and stunning feature to your home, decorative art glass can be used in a variety of ways to really increase its wow factor. Think of adding a wonderful work of stained glass art to some of your exterior windows, foyer, or front door entry. We can make sure the measurements fit spot on, and you don't even have to replace the glass. You can just add the art glass over the top. It will add some real ambiance that changes as the sun moves throughout the day. And a paint of protection too, which never hurts. Our decorative glass artists are delightful to work with, and they just might give you some ideas that you love, but never even thought of. There's so much of the same out there. Adding a customized work of stained glass art to one or more of your home's windows can really set it apart. This is Stacy Sinks with Les's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
The new year means new resolutions, not just for your body, but for your finances as well. Did you know that financial health is directly related to your identity protection? This is why you need LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, LifeLock's restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed, or your subscription money back. Resolve to make your identity, health, and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Visit LifeLock.com and save up to 40% off your first year with the promo code BECK. Terms apply.
Welcome back to Bucks Talk.
All right, as we wrap here, I do have one correction to make. So, good news. The 51 points in defeat. That is not a franchise high. I was communicating with someone from one of the stat services that we use, and apparently they hit a bug. I wondered, too. Like, I remember some really bad teams in the 90s. And they have resolved it and sent me a new list here. And there was one time the Bucks had consecutive 30-point losses. So their franchise high is 75 in back-to-back games. So you avoided that.
Yikes.
At least. But 51 points in back-to-back games. The Atlanta Hawks currently playing. So, look, I don't want to put too much importance on it because you're 7 games below 500 right now. And it's, at this point, it's not worth it to watch the scoreboard and say, well, what if this happens and this happens? Because, like, number one, you have to play better. You have to put together a win streak here. They don't have a win streak this season. And we're approaching the end of January before you know it. But with that in mind, the Hawks are currently losing to the Portland Trail Blazers 96-89 as they've just started the fourth quarter. And the Lakers are losing at home to the Charlotte Hornets. They're midway through the third quarter. It's 79-69. Con Knipple was 12. But you see, Con Knippel was just on the Bill Simmons show, too, and did an in-person appearance. And haven't listened to it yet, but apparently we want to lift the mood even more. Apparently he ran through all the disappointing Packers losses in his lifetime.
Oh, good.
So if you really want to soak it in, give that a listen. But again, the Hornets win this game. Right now, you are closer to the Hornets in the standings than you are the Hawks and Bulls. And if the Hornets win this game, it makes it even tighter. The last thing we'll say here, somebody had sent me Tankathon. Do you go to Tankathon a lot, Matt?
No.
Let's try it too, because someone just simulated and sent it to me. Their simulation, I just ran one. It has the Bucks drafting 9th, but the simulation that was sent to me had the New Orleans Pelicans winning the lottery and the Bucks finishing second in the lottery. Just ran it again for good measure, and the Bucks finished second in the lottery, so that pick would go to the Atlanta Hawks, and you would get the Pelicans pick, which is 6th, which is still a pretty good pick. But as of right now, you're a lottery team. That's the number one fear is, whoa, what if you end up winning the lottery and then have to give that pick to the Atlanta Hawks? Like, how could things get any worse? That's where we're at currently with the state of things for the Bucks. Monday afternoon, noon tip-off for the Bucks and the Atlanta Hawks. Martin Luther King Jr. Day of basketball. Noon tip, 11:30 is when our pregame coverage begins. There will be no Bucks talk that day, but we'll be back Wednesday when the Bucks start a 3-game homestand, and boy, do they ever start it, with the Oklahoma City Thunder. So you got the Thunder, the Mavs, or the Thunder, the Nuggets, and the Mavs. Wednesday, Friday, Sunday next week. 119-101, the final score tonight. It's the San Antonio Spurs taking down the Bucks. We'll talk to you once again Wednesday night on Bucks Talk.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex